I have three fractions up there. What do you think those might be all about? What might the fractions be in relationship to?
It might be the date.
What are the fractions? Talk to a partner. Make a prediction. Jenna, those of you who are late, if you could do me a favor and practice just coming in and sitting down, that's all my expectation is. I don't need you apologizing. I don't need you distracting anyone. I don't need you to do anything other than sit with us. Thank you. Anybody willing to take a guess? What do you think those fractions are? Any brave volunteers? Yes, Luciano.
Like the time.
Like who's on time? Okay, thank you for guessing. It is about the class. You're right. Yes.
Maybe the time that people start reading.
Okay, like how quickly they got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again. It is about the class and it is about reading. So you guys are thinking about, you're using your previous understanding to try and figure things out, and you're being brave by making a guess. Thank you. Susanna. How many? Oh, people are on time. Just kind of the same idea from again. Thank you for thinking about what the context might be. Again, gentlemen, at this point you are interrupting myself speaking and maybe some other people's learning. So I do expect that you're quiet so that you're not interrupting people's learning, nor my train of thought. We're 1 minute or 2 minutes into the lesson already, so we should have been ready by then anyway. 17 out of 20 of you turned in your reading notebook yesterday. 17 out of 20. 6 out of the 17 wrote about the mini lesson. And 3 out of the 17 wrote about their books. Okay? So these are numbers I will be collecting, so you know how you are doing as an individual, and maybe some areas for your growth. So were you one of the majority who turned in their notebooks? Great. Were you one of the minority that wrote? Great. Okay, so where did you fall? Did you remember to write about the mini lesson or no? That's an expectation every day. Every day. All right. An iceberg. What might an iceberg have to do with reading? Talk to your partner.
Not if you get it sinks. It sinks.
Like no, then maybe there's more on the bottom, like approaching grade level, and there's a little like on
All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's see if this works. Again, you don't necessarily need to understand this, okay? The whole first bend is about you getting engaged and growing ideas in your book. The reason I'm showing you an iceberg, and this is one of my favorite metaphors for a lot of different things, specifically about thinking, and more specifically about us today is reading, okay? There are different levels of reading. There's the very surface level on top of things that's just you, it's just for fun, okay? I'm just following the plot along. I kind of know who the characters are. This is not active reading, this is passive reading. And then there's the goals that we have. And that's that down below, okay? Where you're reaching deep, you're really pushing yourself to be a thinker about reading. Okay, this is what we call active reading, is that you are engaging with the text. You are doing something active with your brain, okay, instead of just enjoying. Enjoying is important. If you don't enjoy the book, it's going to be really hard for you to do any sort of deep thinking. So I don't want to take that away. Like enjoying the book is super important. But that's just one small aspect of being an engaged reader. So what I want to talk about today is what evidence might you supply to show that you are an engaged reader. I want you to think about your life as a reader. What work have you been asked to do? What work have you done? What might be some sort of data or evidence or something that you could show someone and go, look, I am an engaged reader. Or where you get the lack of it and you go, I'm struggling with engagement. Like I'm struggling with being an active reader. What might be some sort of evidence or information that you could supply people? Take a moment to think about it, and then I'm going to ask you to talk to your partner. All right, turn and talk. What is some information or data that you could collect or not have to show your engagement level?
Like, I think translating ideas from the movie, or like,
Yes.
like,
You should like really read because if you don't enjoy it, you would just be like, yeah, what? And you should have like something. How can you show that you enjoy a book? Well, really get into the character and don't like understand what's But how do you show someone that you understand the character? Telling them the evidence if you're going to talk to them, telling them the evidence of why the character is like this. So your conversations understand the character. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. I only was listening to 2 people. One thing I will do is push in on conversations. So I will be trying to, what I did there is I was teaching you how to be an effective partner. Okay, asking questions is very, very important. Pushing, the best thing you can do for someone is to push them in their thinking. So if they say something like, a way to show you're engaged is to be engaged, or to enjoy your book. Well, what do you mean? How do you show you enjoy something? How do you show it? So then you keep asking them so that they can provide you with an answer. So where Maria Jose went, which is one thing I had in mind, is your conversations. What does it sound like when you talk about a book, right? Does it sound like you are becoming knowledgeable on the character? Do you talk in an excited way about the book that you're reading? Do you talk in a way that makes me want to read the book? Right? Conversations are important. And that was something Maria Jose shared. Again, I apologize, I wasn't able to get around to everybody. Did anybody else have a different idea other than conversations that would be some sort of data that you could keep track of or show people to show that you're an engaged reader?
like maybe summarizing, like a chapter you read in your mind, or
So some sort of written work in your notebook. Okay, so we have written work in our notebook, and we have conversations. Those are 2 different ways we could show engagement. Can anyone think of a third way? I always like the rule of 3. Yeah, 3 is great. 3 is a great number. If you start looking for 3s in your life, you're going to see a ton of them, especially in books. There's 3s, just 3. 3 is so very popular. So a third one, I have it in mind. Going once, going twice. Soul. Your reading log. Your reading log can show engagement because it tracks the number of pages you're reading. It tracks, if you're so choosing, are you engaged with the book? What's your level of enjoyment? I'm really liking this. I'm not. Okay, so the reading log is a very powerful way to show your engagement as well. So we have 3 right now. How do you talk about books when you talk to your partner? What kind of work are you doing inside of your notebook? And what's going on with your reading log? So for the time being, these are 3 ways that we can show we are an engaged reader. So today, and every day that you read, think about those 3 things. Are you getting yourself prepared to talk? Which you will today. You will talk about your book to a partner today. We will come back to this area. Number 2, are you jotting anything? Are you writing anything down that shows you are engaged in the text? And number 3, are you keeping track of your reading? Those 3 things. At this point, we have been under 10 minutes, which is my goal. And I do want to make sure that you have plenty of time to do your work. If you have a question that I need to answer, you can stay on the learning area. If you trust yourself to answer it for yourself, I trust that you can do that as well. I will be keeping track of certain things and reporting back to you. Donkey shorts.
Yeah, look.